Hello, I'm Al, and this is Dan. Today we're going to be talking to you about safety using pneumatic nailers. We know it's not an exciting topic, but it is an important one to ensure you make it home to your family, and it's a vital component to your job. Studies have shown there are an estimated 37,000 emergency room visits in the United States for pneumatic nailer-caused accidents in a single year. That's an average of 101 people getting hurt on the job every day, with 32% of them being bystanders. Your safety record could not only make you a more attractive employee to employers, but to your coworkers as well. Making safety a part of your everyday routine will help you make it home to your family each night injury-free. Safety should always be at the top of your mind, and it needs to be built into your daily routine. The steps we are going to talk about today should be done by everyone, every shift, every day. We're grouping these safety tips into 3 categories: before work, during work, and after work. Before work ever starts, there are several things you can do to maximize your safety. The first and probably most overlooked thing is knowing the tool you are working with, and the best way to do that is to read the manual. Don't just assume you know how the tool works because you've used a similar one. Know how each feature is designed to work, especially the trigger function. One of the keys to helping reduce injuries from pneumatic nailers is to understand the different types of triggers available. There are several different types of triggers offered, and it is important for users to understand how each of these triggers work. The different types available are full sequential, contact, and selective. Out of all of these options, full sequential triggers are the safest and can help reduce the risk of injury. Of course, you should always read and understand the operator's manual to make sure you understand how these features work, since it may vary by manufacturer. An obvious, but not always utilized step is to obtain and use the right personal protective equipment. Job site and factory floor specific requirements can vary, but you should, at a minimum, wear employer recommended personal protective equipment, and those recommended in the instruction manual for the tool you will be using. Safety glasses, gloves, and hearing protection are likely required in all situations. Check with your supervisor for any additional PPE requirements, and be sure you wear the proper PPE when you're in an area where work is being performed, whether you are the one working or not. Before you start working, you should check your tool to make sure it is in good working order. The equipment manual should provide some information about how this can be done properly. Check the tool over to make sure no parts are missing or modified. You should only use the tool manufacturer's specified fasteners. Never try using a different fastener or object in the tool. You should also make sure that the tool has a relief type air coupler. This is a quick disconnect with a pull down sleeve to meet OSHA requirements. These are the only couplers that should ever be used because they allow compressed air in the tool to be relieved, reducing the chance of an accidental discharge after the air supply has been disconnected. Now that you have your PPE on and you've checked over your tool, it's time to connect it to the air supply. You should only connect it to an air compressor, never an alternate type of gas. Check the air pressure requirements for the tool and never exceed the manufacturer's listed maximum air pressure. This will extend the life of the tool and promote both your safety and others. Once connected, you should also check for air leaks in the connection and the tool. Even the smallest leak poses a risk. If a leak is identified, tag the tool for repair, place it out of service, and find another tool. Before you start working, look around and identify potential hazards. Be aware of your surroundings and environment to make sure you can work safely and others in the area won't be put in danger. Make sure your work area is clean and well lit. You should have enough room to work comfortably without being in an awkward or unstable body position. Now you're ready to get to work, but there is still a lot more to be done to make sure you are working safely. You should never carry or pull the tool by the hose, and your fingers should never be near the trigger unless you're ready to fire it. Many tools are designed with safety features such as safety springs and sequential triggers. You should never modify or disable any tool's safety features. The tool is designed with these safety mechanisms for a reason. Tampering increases the chance for injury for both the current user and anyone else who may use the equipment in the future. Be aware of changes to your surroundings and environment that make further work with the tool unsafe. Never operate the tool in the direction of others. And keep your offhand at least 12 inches away from the tool at all times. You should always know what you're fastening and what's under or behind what you're nailing before you fire. Be aware of metal, knots in the wood, or any other hazards and avoid these areas. If you encounter a jam, misfire, or other problem, disconnect the tool from the air supply before doing anything. Never point the tool at yourself while you inspect for problems. This should go without saying, but there should absolutely never be any horseplay in work areas. Never point your tool at yourself or another person. Never actuate a tool by holding the contact lever, bypassing the safety. Once your workday or task is completed, there are a couple more things you can do to promote safety for you and your coworkers. Never leave a tool connected to the air supply when not in use. Each time you disconnect it, make it a habit to empty the tool's magazine. Whether you're taking a short break or done for the day, disconnect and empty the magazine. Now is the time to perform proper routine maintenance. See the manufacturer recommendations for details, but be sure you use only pneumatic-approved oils on the equipment. If your tool is not working correctly or is damaged, be sure to tag it for repair, noting the issue you were having with it in as much detail as possible, and place the tool out of service. We've covered various steps you can do to enhance safety for you and your team. Let's review some of the key suggestions quickly. Always read the tool's manual. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment. Know your type of trigger, and remember, using a full sequential trigger can help reduce the chance of injury. Do not exceed the manufacturer's maximum air pressure for the tool being used. Use a relief-type air coupler on the tool. Only connect to an air compressor and never use an alternative type of gas. Safely transport the tool. Never carry or pull by the hose, and keep your finger away from the trigger. Never modify or disable a tool's safety features. No horseplay with tools in or around work areas, and never point a tool at yourself or others. Disconnect tools from the air supply when not in use. While this is not a complete list of potential safety measures, following these guidelines may provide you with a good start toward the safe operation of pneumatic nailers. Please consult your equipment manual for additional guidelines, and be sure to verify and comply with the laws and regulations applicable in your area. Nothing in this video is intended to be an endorsement of any of the products, services, companies, methods, processes, practices, or sources of information depicted herein. On behalf of Link Systems, thanks for watching, and be safe out there.